Now I know at the time of filming this is actually 2015, but in 2013 I wasn't on YouTube. I didn't get this guitar until 2014 actually, but I'm doing the review now because this guitar is absolutely amazing. It was my first Gibson and I do not regret the decision in the slightest. In the UK, the LPJ series retailed at $499 and I believe it was $699 in the US. A lot of people think that the J in the LPJ stands for Junior, as in Les Paul Junior, but it actually doesn't. I can't think off the top of my head what it actually stands for, but it's not a replacement for the Les Paul Junior. The Les Paul Junior actually did make a comeback in the 2015 lineup, but Gibson have carried on the LPJ line with the LPM, which you could also get in 2013 and 14, which was basically the mini tune version of this guitar. And take a look at the guitar a little bit further. This is basically, it's hard to believe, and a lot of people probably don't believe it, but it is pretty much a stripped down version of a Les Paul standard. It might be closer to a studio, but if you look at the spec sheet and you look at the Gibson website, it's actually pretty much a standard with a 50s neck. It's got a mahogany body with a two-piece maple cap in it. It's got a maple neck, it's got a 50s neck. I think the 2014 models are slightly thinner neck. The 2013's got a really thick 50s neck, which I absolutely love. I can't really get away with the 60s necks. I had a Epiphone Les Paul Custom which had a thin 60s style neck on it, and I just couldn't get away with it. The Epiphone 1960s Tribute is about as thin as I can go. It's not too much different to this. It's not too much different, but I definitely prefer these 50s necks. But if you like your thinner necks, then definitely check out the 2014 range, or maybe the LPMs from the 2015, or maybe wait and see what happens in 2016. But for people like me that love the 50s neck, this is absolutely perfect. As you can see, it's very, very stripped back, and it's got no binding on the fretboard or on the guitar itself. It's pretty much a Les Paul Standards body with a thin satin nitro paint job. As you can see, I haven't played this. This isn't where I haven't actually played this out and about gigging too much. And this is pretty much the colour as it came from the shop when I bought it in 2014, brand new. It's a very thin paint job, which if you did play it gigging a lot, you would wear it down quite fast. And I think that's quite nice. I really like nitro finishes for the fact that they do wear over time, and it truly makes the guitar yours. So I'm really looking forward to the next few years, and hopefully the guitar starts showing some age and will become mine. It will start to become mine, sorry. It's got a few dents already in it, just where I've been playing it over the past 18 months or so. But anyway, taking a look at it, as I've said, this is pretty much a Les Paul standard without all the frills, all the fanciness. Basically the body, the maple cap, the neck. The tuners are Gibson Deluxe 16 1 tuners, and the pickups are, I believe it's the 490R in the neck, which is an Alnico 2 magnet, and the 498T, which is an Alnico 5 magnet. And this shows how much effort that Gibson went into it, and they haven't just gave you just a cheap guitar. Like I said, the build is pretty much a Les Paul standard quality build, and the pickups, I think these pickups were used in the Les Paul standard double cut guitar. I believe they've been used in the studios before. I think they've been in the SG standards, and if you look on the Gibson website, look at the spec sheets, a lot of the Les Paul customs actually have these guitars, has these pickups in them, sorry. So you are getting quality gear, and these pickups are being used in guitars that are $4,000 plus, some of them, and you're getting a high-end guitar with all the cheaps, with all the frills, taken away, which has brought the price right down to $699 in the US and $499 in the UK. And then the same thing applies across the 2014-2015 range. So if you want to get a Gibson that is basically a full-on workhorse and can take a beating and can sound great, but you don't have the cash to spend on the luxury guitars that we all just fantasize over and drew over, such as the standards, the traditionals, even the customs, then the LPJ, LPM series is definitely one to consider. It's my first Gibson. I do not regret it in the slightest. Every time I play this, it's a weird thing because I really, really do like Epiphone guitars. Don't get me wrong, they are absolutely phenomenal. I own a few, and if you've watched my channel from early on, you've probably seen that I play the Epiphone a lot more than I'd play this. But there's something about when you strap on this guitar, or any Gibson in fact, it just has that level of quality. You just feel like you're playing like the real deal. And even with this guitar, which is the lowest end that Gibson do, you still get that feel. There's nothing like putting on a Gibson, and it really does make you just feel just a little bit better, and sort of draws that little bit more out of you in terms of playability. And it's absolutely great to play. This one didn't actually have too sharp fret edges. I heard a few people say that the fret edges were quite sharp, which is due to the lack of binding, but you could always file them down. You could always smooth it out if it needed, but this one didn't. This one was pretty much out of the box, good to go. I've done pretty much nothing to this guitar, if anything, which is great. It's just been absolutely amazing from the moment I got it in 2014 to now. I love playing it, and I'm really looking forward to hopefully getting hold of another one or a 2014 model. I've got my eye on one. Fingers crossed I can secure it before it goes. One more note, if you are into modifying your guitars, this guitar is pretty perfect. If you head over to mylespaul.com and check out the forums, which I go on from time to time, there's a lot of people with these LPJs, and they've done some amazing stuff to them. You can get a white one. It's like an alpine white colour, but it's this sort of like faded satiny look. And I've seen some guy strip the whole thing down and put chrome, everything chrome, change the pickups to chrome. I think he had sort of chrome dials on them, like a sort of chrome pickup selector. He had chrome tuners, and it sort of had that sort of spaceman feel to it. It was absolutely amazing. And then I saw another one where they stripped the front down, the paint. It had like a natural body, and that, and it really is one of those great guitars because it's got a thin finish that you can pretty much make it your own. It's great to customise. I'm not big on modification myself, so I have left it stock, and I don't really intend on changing it out. The only downside is getting the pickups out, and because of the way that I've been putting it's like a circuit board, it's really weird to get into. If you want to change them out though, you can. It's just a bit of a pain. But I quite like the 498 and the 490, so I might just leave these in and keep this one stock. But if I get another one, I'll probably swap them out, maybe get some Seymour Duncans just to have a bit of variation. But if you want a classic Gibson guitar and a setup, a body construction and pickup selection that has been used in more albums than you probably care to remember, some of your favourite albums have probably been created with this sort of combination, but you don't have the cash to fork out on the legendary guitars such as the standards, then definitely check out the LPJ LPM series. You can pick up the 2015 range still in stores now. You can still get some 2014s if you look out and you shop for them, and you could probably pick up one of these on eBay probably for half of the retail price, probably $350 in the US, sort of $250 to $300ish in the UK. Definitely check it out, you won't regret it. I put my seal of approval on this guitar. I can't wait to show it off in more videos over the coming months. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope you've enjoyed the little song that I wrote specifically for this video for you guys. You can check that out on iTunes, Spotify and all the usual places. Don't forget to subscribe because I'll be doing more reviews. Everything I can get my hands on I'll be reviewing for you guys, and doing a lot more covers than that using this guitar. And that's about it. I've been Doodles. You have been fantastic. I'll see you guys next time.